Hi, welcome to Living Healthy with Amy Turner. Today we have a very special guest, Janel Andersen. She is one of my best friends. Her and I met here in Morgan 24 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Can you believe it's been that long? I know.
That's crazy.
Her and I were both pregnant. She was pregnant with her third child, and I was pregnant with my oldest. And we met at the library here in town, and we just hit it off right away and really connected and became close friends ever since. So Janel Andersen loves natural solutions for health and home with her family and enjoys sharing them with others. She is passionate about all the ways we can swap out harmful things in our homes for healthy ones. She taught high school Spanish and financial literacy before becoming a doTERRA wellness advocate and loves the family-friendly flexibility of her doTERRA career, as well as making a meaningful difference in the lives of those she helps with natural solutions for their health. She also enjoys creating financial freedom for her family and teaching others how to do the same. So welcome.
Thank you, Amy.
Today.
It's fun to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I just want to start by asking you how you learned about the essential oils and then what inspired you to start using them.
Yeah, so basically, my son, when he was 3 years old, he developed a really severe stuttering problem. And I know you've heard this story before, but it's just crazy. He started stuttering about 10 to 20 times on most of the words that he would say. And we just couldn't even understand him. And he'd been a good little talker before that, but this got to the point where we couldn't understand him at all. And we were just really devastating, thinking about what this meant for his life to not be able to communicate to people. And so I remember telling my sister what was going on with him. And she said, you know what? I just went to this this training by Dr. David Hill, who's an expert in essential oils, happens to be with doTERRA. So anyway, so she said, I went to this training and they taught us to apply the essential oils on the back, in a specific technique, a specific order of oils, and on the bottoms of the feet. And it's just really calming. And since I've learned that it actually is proven to reduce all types of stress indicators like cortisol levels, blood pressure, and all of that. But she said, why don't you just try it on and maybe it'll just calm him down, And we had researched all about, stuttering and everything and found out the doctors didn't have anything that could help us. And so we decided to, we thought, well, it's all natural. We might as well try it on him, just, see what would happen. Because we really were helpless. There was nothing else we could do. So we did apply the oils on him, how my sister taught me how to do it in the technique on his back and the bottoms of the feet. We did it every other night for a week. And at the end of the week, the stuttering was gone.
Wow. And
a
week.
And
amazing.
But my husband and I were super skeptical. We never heard about these weird oils. And so we were like, well, of course, we don't know if the oils did anything. Maybe he was just going to stop, maybe it was just, time for him to stop stuttering. Well, so we stopped using the oils because he wasn't stuttering anymore. And, after about another week of not using them, the stuttering came back and it was almost just the same as before. And so we thought, okay, maybe those oils did help. Why don't we just try them again? So we started using them again and the same thing happened that happened the first time. After another week, the stuttering was gone.
Wow.
And I just remember calling up my sister and saying, oh my gosh, there's something about these oils. They're helping his cells or his brain or something, and I didn't know how they worked, but I knew that they were helping.
Yeah.
And it was huge to us how powerful they were. And I do remember he was a wiggly little kid and I was like, do I have to do this forever on his back? Because he doesn't want to hold still.
Right.
And so we decided to increase the time between applications until we kind of weaned him off the oils and the stuttering didn't return.
Wow.
And so,
it's truly amazing to know.
So
that's like a miracle.
It was huge for us. It was just so powerful to know that I had never known that there were these, extracts from plants that could help benefit our health and do even things that sometimes the doctors can do. So, so I just, that, got me really excited to use them at home and to start sharing with others.
Okay, awesome. And so that's what got you into wanting to be an advocate and start sharing it.
Right. Awesome. After I started sharing with others, I thought, if I can just help even one person to have the difference in their life like this, this totally changed my son's life and our life.
Right.
So that kind of, got me to thinking I really need to share this with everyone. And then as I started doing it, I realized the time freedom that could come with this, business of my own, and the unlimited income potential. And then the opportunities for travel also that came were really awesome. And just, interacting with really like-minded people who were, just looking for natural things, and really awesome people. So those were things that I loved. And so that's what got me doing this full time, which I've been doing for 10 years now. So.
Wow, awesome. That's great. Yeah, and Janelle, I'd actually heard of essential oils before I met Janelle, but you know how if you hear something at first, at least for me, I, like kind of being skeptical like Janelle, I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to try this yet. Sometimes I have to hear things 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And, here's something amazing. Like I hadn't heard an amazing story like her son before with the oils. So when she shared that with me and then invited me to a class that she had that her sister and her were putting on, I was like, okay, I want to learn about these. And I just, I prayed about it and I felt good right away about using them. And so I signed up with doTERRA as well and started using the oils right around the same time Janelle did. And they've been such a benefit for me too. So for example, for years, I couldn't wear earrings because they would irritate my ears and I would just start getting infected right away. And then I remember reading in about the lavender essential oil in a doTERRA book that I have. It shows like the properties, the uses of lavender and all the essential oils. And it talked about, healing the skin. And I thought, oh, I just had this thought, well, maybe I could try lavender on my ears and see if that would help. And right away, I could wear earrings immediately. Like the infection was gone. It was amazing. Yeah. It was such a blessing. And then I used to get sinus infections a lot. And so I looked up, what would be helpful for sinus infections for the essential oils. And digestin was one of them. And it said to just roll it around your navel. And I did. And I had a really bad sinus infection one time. And it immediately, like within 30 seconds, was gone. I could just feel all the pressure and everything being gone. It was amazing.
That's so cool.
Such a blessing. And so for me, I use the essential oils every day. I put them on the bottom of my feet. On Guard is one that I use every day because it helps prevent you from getting sick. And if you are sick, it gets you healing faster. And yeah, there's several oils I use. And for example, I don't hardly ever have to go to the doctor anymore because I still do medicines if I have to, but I always go the essential oils first and I go to natural solutions first. And for me, almost every time I get sick, the essential oils take it away. I don't have to go to, a doctor or, medicines. And for me, you're saving a lot of time and money because you don't have to make the appointment. You have to go in and talk to them. You're paying the copay and everything when you're right here at home and they're natural. And a lot of, medicines that aren't natural, from doctors and things, there's a lot of harmful side effects in there as well, and so, to me, I just would rather go to the natural things first. So anyways, Janelle, could you maybe share some experiences that you've had, how they've helped you too as well, and maybe others?
Yeah, definitely. So first off, I always remember the Aroma Touch oil because this is one that's in that Aroma Touch technique that helped with my son's stuttering. And it's also a really great massage oil. So this is one that, that I always love. And Amy mentioned the On Guard oil. It's definitely a favorite of mine too. I don't know if you remember, but when I first started using the oils for myself, I was dealing with constant chronic sinus infections, and I dealt with some depression as well. And as far as with my sinus issues and stuff, the On Guards really boosted my immune system, made a huge difference. I mean, I remember when I was going to school to be a teacher, I remember telling one of my friends, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to keep teaching once I'm in the classroom because I'm sick all the time. And so I didn't know if I was actually going to be able to continue in that career. And anyway, so super excited that instead of being sick all the time now, I'm rarely sick, or if I am, it's usually kicked out pretty quickly. So love the On Guard and also the oregano for that. Oregano has natural properties that are antibacterial and antiviral and that. So oregano is my best friend too. Another one, I just have to mention frankincense. I do have some joint issues and inflammation, and frankincense is wonderful with that a lot, as well as our deep blue. Most people have heard of our deep blue rub, or, which we also have the deep blue oil. Super great for helping with, natural inflammatory response. And so the frankincense, though, I just have to tell, I don't know if you remember, you probably remember when your father-in-law had some issues with his hands, and that they were, he wasn't able to straighten them because of the joint issues, and he tried all the different medications. And anyway, he applied the frankincense for just a couple days. I remember him telling me, and that it totally, he hadn't been able to straighten at least one of his fingers for 2 years.
That's
I remember.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you reminded me that.
After,
Sorry to interrupt. I remember you saying it really helped his fingers, but I forgot about this detail about the fingers.
And because I remember he came to my house to show me once. He came to one of the classes. He's like, I got to show you. And he showed me how he was able to move his fingers like regular when it'd been like 2 years that they were really in bad shape. So frankincense is really the king of the oils. That's one of the reasons is how well it helps with any kind of, inflammation. So
I was going to tell you too, guess what? My husband's fingers have been bothering him lately too. And he goes, Amy, where's that frankincense? Because I think I mentioned him when he said they were bothering him. I said, well, your dad, when he was alive, used the frankincense and it really helped him. So he's been using it and it's been helping him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's amazing. And at that point, I'll just mention that if you avoid sugar, that really helps your body too. So that's really key. But anyway, and I know you mentioned Digestin that helped your sinuses, but Digestin, I also have to tell this story because it's my favorite story about Digestin. Okay. Just that I did help someone here in our community, but it was years and years ago that he'd been on medication for acid reflux for 20 years. Had it really severely. And he and his wife went on a flight, and it was a long flight, and she just got started with her doTERRA oils. And they were on this flight, and he turned to his wife and said, oh no, I left my medication in the luggage, which is under the plane. How am I going to survive this 9-hour flight or whatever? Yeah. And so she said, hey, I've got these oils. I just got them. You've got to try them. So he took a couple drops of the Digestin in some water and drank it. 5 minutes later, he turned to her and said, oh my gosh, it's all better. It totally worked.
Wow.
And so,
that is huge.
Super fast. But that's not even the best part of the story. The best part is that it worked so well that he decided to start using it every other day in place of his medication. Okay. And he found that the days he used the oil, he felt better than the days he had used the medication. Wow. And so he decided to go ahead and swap it just every day, use it in place of the medication. And after 2 months, he noticed he didn't need the oil or the medication, that his body had been able to take care of that problem that he'd had.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Yes.
So so that's one of my favorite stories I love to share because so many people, can benefit from that. So anyway,
awesome.
But the other thing I wanted to mention is that my sister has had horrible issues with head tension, all kinds of issues that way, and that the peppermint oil takes that away in 5 minutes for her. So she's not on any other meds now for that. And and it's amazing. And just I recently actually had I was playing tennis, and it was with someone here in town. She could tell you the story, but I pulled a muscle as I was lunging for a ball or whatever. And afterwards I was like, I felt like I did something. I pulled, I don't know if it was just a muscle or other ligaments and things. Anyway, so I could barely, by the time, after a few minutes, I was like, okay, I can't play tennis anymore. And we had to stop. And by the time I got home, I could barely walk. And I called the chiropractor. I'm like, did I slip a disc? I didn't know what I did, but I thought I am not this is not going to go well. I thought I would not be walking for a month because I couldn't even move.
Wow.
Well, I went into the chiropractor's office and they're like, they couldn't really do anything for me, but he said it wasn't a disc or whatever and to come back in a week.
Okay.
But I had somewhere I was supposed to go was to Bear Lake in like 3 days later. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to go. There's no way I'm not going to be walking for a month for sure.
Wow.
Anyway, I immediately started using Deep Blue, the Deep Blue rub and that, but I started actually using one of our Symphony of the Cells protocols, which it's just other protocols of using oils up the spine and the bottoms of the feet. They're amazing, super powerful. But so I had my husband do that on my back and my feet for 2 days. After 2 days, I was like walking around. I mean, I couldn't even hardly move before that.
Wow.
I was walking around. By the 3rd day, I went up to Bear Lake and I was fine to walk around. So it was like totally like life-saving for me. So anyway, very powerful, very powerful. That's all you can say really is that they are really to help you live the best quality of life. So.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. And I was going to share, I thought of a couple more, situations with family members where the oils have helped. My mom's, her knees have been really bad, throughout the years. And she uses Deep Blue every day. And she said that really comforts her and helps her with the pain in her knees. And then my children have had bronchitis a lot throughout their lives. And every time I put those essential oils that help with the bronchitis, on, it goes away like, after maybe 3 or 4 applications and it's gone. It's amazing. Yeah, so that's what's wonderful about it too. Whereas medicines, sometimes you have to use the antibiotic for 5 or 6 days or what have you. But, 3 or 4 applications within maybe an hour sometimes, and the, bronchitis or what have you, the illness is gone. So it's really amazing. So yes.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing about essential oils. I just love how there's so many natural solutions out there that can really help us and benefit us. And I was going to say it is easy to, when you first learn about something new to go, oh my gosh, because a lot of us have grown up just with, regular medications and things. And it's easy at first when you hear something new, like something natural to go, okay, I'm not used to that, or I didn't grow up with that. To kind of, be skeptical. But, I would just invite you to, think about that and, maybe think, well, maybe these might help. And
can I mention one other thing? I realized that I forgot to mention when I was saying I was sick all the time when I first were introduced to these and my mood was really low, I had a hard time getting out of bed, on medication for that and stuff. Our pharmaceutical grade supplements is what really changed that for me too. So those are infused with the essential oils as well. And so that's something that, a lot of people don't realize how important it is to get that supplementation, that daily supplementation too. So that's what made the difference as well. But definitely natural things are where it's at for sure.
Yes.
So
Awesome. Thank you so much, Janelle. I appreciate you coming and sharing your story and sharing about how the essential oils can really help us. And so where could they find you if they would like to learn more about essential oils?
So I'm on Instagram, Living Natural Solutions on Instagram. And also I do have a Facebook group that is open for people to request to join. And that's also Living Natural Solutions with Janelle. You can also email me at janelle@livingnaturalsolutions.com. And my website is also livingnaturalsolutions.com.
Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this episode of Living Healthy with Amy Turner. If you enjoyed watching, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified about future episodes. If you would like to learn more, you can comment below and be sure to follow and message me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks a lot for watching and have a fabulous day.